Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a Thermomix team leader and advisor in the Essex branch, and I'm going to show you some chopping and sautéing in both the TM6 and the TM7. TM7 is our new model that has just come out in February, and one of the things that has been improved on the TM7 is the fact that it has a much more silent motor. So a lot of people have asked me how much quieter it is than the TM6. So I thought I would show you a little bit of chopping on both of them so we can see the difference between the noise levels on the two. So I'm going to start with the Parmesan cheese, which is one of the probably the loudest things, because obviously being a hard cheese, so things like your nuts, cocoa beans, if you're taking ice and not chopping that up, but basically these are the sort of things that are going to probably make the most noise because you're doing it on a power of speed 10 for a few seconds. So I thought that would be good to show the comparison at the most extreme. So I'm doing starting from the recipe, which is a risotto with Parmesan cheese, as I say, and start cooking. So you can also see the differences between the two Thermomixes. So we're just going to put some cheese into here. I'm obviously just showing you the Parmesan cheese on there. So I put in there a little over the 40 grams. Pressing next on here, it says to insert the measuring cup into the lid. This is this part here, so you can see they're very different. This one no longer has the measuring cup, it just has this that for when the aroma sits on it, and the hole for when you want to pour liquid through, as opposed to this one that has the measuring cup. We've done away with that now on the TM7. Okay, so we're going to put the cheese in, and we're going for just 10 seconds. On this one you have your 3 dials, you have your time, you have your temperature, and you have your speed, and the speed going up to 10 being the most powerful 10,700 revs per minute. So 10 seconds. So we're just going to see this one. So obviously bear in mind the idea of this video is to show you the differences in the sounds. So it will sound loud, and the phone's obviously going to microphone and make it sound loud as well. But here we go. And obviously as it starts to grind and grate the cheese up, it obviously gets quieter when it's not so that initial burst when it's much louder. Right, so let's look at the same thing now on the TM7. So you can see the screen on the TM7 is a lot bigger. It has pictures on there, and it has all the details, and it's just a matter of scrolling and all the information is there. So we start here with this one. So let me just come out to the recipe I was in before. Cross that one up. Okay, and we're going to just start on here. I'm going to take the lid off. Just wait for that to load up. And here you can see the layout's much different to the TM6. It just tells us to put the Parmesan cheese in. So it weighs the scales on here, but if we do it accurately, if you watch on here, you will see a line that goes across when we hit the 40 grams. So see that? It measures it and then weights on there. Go in. And then when it's done, we can just tick it on there. And then we press next. So it's the same on the TM6 to TM7. They are both the same power, it's just the difference of the new motor on there that makes this one quieter. So we're going 10 seconds, speed 10, and on this one all we'd have to do is press play on there. Okay, so we can see on that one there how much quieter that one was. Although it's obviously going to be loud, you're not going to get away from that. If you're going to grate a hard cheese like Parmesan, it's going to be loud at the end of the day. But you can certainly hear that's a lot quieter than on the TM6 with that motor. All right, so bear with me. I'm just going to swap over to the bowl, and then we're going to move on to chopping onions and sautéing so we can hear how quiet the motor is when it's cooking. Okay, back in a minute. Okay, so that's the parmesan done. If I just show you, because obviously you want to see that how quick that was, 10 seconds, that's your grated parmesan. So very easy, better than grating it yourself and all the rest of it. To be able to just put in your cubed, 2 centimetre cubes parmesan in, and therefore chop that. And obviously, as I say, that's the loudest it's ever going to be when using the speed 10 and something like a hard cheese or nuts and things like that where it's grinding down. So let's now look at the chopping onions and also sautéing so we can hear the differences in the actual motors when they're cooking. So I'm going to take onions first. Let's start with our TM6. So reset here. We're just going to put, I'm going to put a whole onion in on this one. What's next? We're just going to chop that first. You can see that. So next, 5 seconds. So obviously chopping onions takes longer than 5 seconds and a lot more crying as well that comes with that. And we're going to speed of 5 on the TM6. So just turn that one up. So obviously you can hear the difference as well in that between that and grating the Parmesan cheese. And we'll just show you on the onions in there. So if you can see them all chopped there in 5 seconds. Still quite strong even from there. Right, so let's do the same on our TM7. So just reset. I'm just going to put onion in, actually put garlic in as well because I'm going to do the two together. Okay, so I'm doing more than what it says on here. It doesn't matter if your onion is, recipe says 60 grams of onion, but your onion actually weighs more. If you don't want to be leaving a little bit of onion left over, feel free to put it in. Whilst the Thermomix works really well for people who can't cook and don't know what to do, that means they can just follow the recipes. If you're someone who likes cooking and you like playing around with the recipes, that's for you to do as well, because you can just put the extras in, you can add in bits that you think will go at that stage. How we would normally cook, all this is doing is helping it to make it quicker, easier, and for you not to be having to stand over it all the time. So let's chop the onions now on the TM7. So put those in, place those in. Next, we're going to chop the same as well. So all the cookie recipes on the 6 and the 7 are the same. Let's just chop that one. And then that's it finished. You can hear it's much softer on the motor being more powerful. So it just asked me to scrape down the sides on both. So let's just show you that. Just pushing them down because we're then going to put the oil in on that. So you see, chopped exactly the same. So what we do is pushing these to the base, ready to put some oil in to saute. Let's do the same in this one. Push it down. And then we can go with that next step. So look at our olive oil. This one's saying extra 10 grams olive oil. So the scales are built in on there and we'll weigh it in. Okay. Put that on. Next. And then we're going to just put this basket on the top. Just so we can let all the steam out. So this just makes the whole be able to let out more of the steam while it's cooking. And then we're going for 3 minutes, 120 degrees where we're now starting to cook, and we're going to a speed of 1. So you see it run there. So we just leave that up there. So here, we can hear. Okay, so that is your idea. Okay, let's stop that one. I'm going to do now the same with this one here. This one we're going to add in the oil. The other one of this is if you take the lid off after you move steps, the scales automatically reset. On this one we have to reset it. So we're just going to put 10 grams in of oil. Empty. I'm not putting butter in on this one, I'm just putting the oil. Okay, and then we're sorting again. So 3 minutes the same, 120 degrees on a speed of 1. So press play. And that's it cooking. I'll bring that in so you can hear the difference. That's if you can hear it. So leave that going. So, as you can see there, much quieter. And obviously bear in mind, this is pretty much what you're doing most of the time when you're cooking with it. I've shown you the real extreme of chopping something that's a hard ingredient, as opposed to, you know, this one here. So where we're cooking, you can see it's also going red, but it's starting to heat up on there as well. Okay, so hopefully that gives you an overview on that. We have plenty of opportunities to join online and come into our branches to see the TM7 itself and us cooking with it, which obviously will help you to see a bit more about the different features. Or you can do an online demo with me and I can show you, or come face to face for local demos to show you exactly it cooking and for you to be able to cook with it as well. But it's obviously a much more powerful machine with lots of other things. So I'll be doing some other videos just to get you used to looking at what the TM7 can do compared to the TM6. Okay, hope that helps, and any questions, just drop me a message or send me an email. Okay, thanks then, bye.